Time out. A chance to breathe. Recharging our batteries. And this is really important to our health and to our well-being, physically, mentally, and spiritually. And that's what prayer does for us. It gives us an opportunity to be still. And we can break out of those endless activities and our online connectivity and to get involved together again. This is one of those contributions that our Sunday Eucharist makes in our lives, my friends. It's an hour in the week that we stop and that we ask ourselves to be in God's presence and for us to encounter God with us and to look where we are and to see what needs to change in the coming week. In today's gospel, we see Jesus taking his disciples to do just this. They've been out on mission. He sent them out 2 by 2, and they came back elated. My dear friends, our mission group from here, from St. Gregory's, 11 of us, came back last night around 10:30. We were sent out on mission to go out and to make a difference in people's lives. We were part of the mustard seed community in Jamaica. And it's communities throughout the country that take care of the mentally and handicapped individuals of their society. A 12-year-old, one of the residents told me that when he was 12 years old, Mom took him for a ride in the country and left him there to die. Wow. But somebody found him because he was too much of a burden. And now he has new life in this community. And that's where we went this week. And what did we do? God challenged us to do the impossible. The one person that attracted me the most, or I wanted to distance myself the most, was Salvatore. He was from Haiti, a refugee. And Salvatore walked on all his hands and feet and never could stand up. But when you gave him a ball in soccer or football, he just smiled and was excited. He helped us paint one of the cabins, and he was so meticulous in doing that act. My friends, that's what we encountered at this mustard seed community. It was 126 residents, all with mental and physical handicaps. But when you saw the smile on their face, you encountered the presence of God, and it changes your life. Unconditional love. That's the love that the Father had for us in Jesus Christ. And that's the love that calls us into this ministry to live out those convictions with one another. And so this week was filled with those moments of unconditional love that they gave to us and changed our lives. I'm not a person of the heat, okay? Summers are brutal. No air conditioning, no power, and there we were. Cold showers. My shower this morning was wonderful. We don't know how good we have it. Our homes are castles compared to what the rest of the world lives in. And the things that we take for granted, we shouldn't. And our lives are changed when they're challenged in new situations. Our person that was in charge of us kept speaking to us about one love, and one love changes everything. And we can make a difference in a person's life, and they can make a difference in our lives. So what did I experience this week? Was that awesome responsibility of doing what God is asking me to do and to allow Him to touch His people. We came back changed because we saw that great love by the staff, the residents, that can bring about that kingdom of God. And that's what Jesus is saying to us today. It's time to be still so that we can set out to that lowly place. But now there's a caution in all this, because we could become so focused on our own time and our own well-being, and that becomes rather selfish. We can ignore others and their needs, even those we love. In today's gospel, Jesus sets before us an example. As we and His disciples arrive in this so-called lowly place, a large crowd is waiting for them. And Jesus' heart is moved with pity for them. And He says they are like sheep without a shepherd. And so He puts this time of solitude on hold, and He spends time teaching and answering their questions. This shows us that our quiet time, our prayer time, is not a withdrawal into a comfortable isolation and not an escape for our mission to love and to care for one another. Rather, our quiet time gives us a focus on the energy to do the ministry and to do it well. The experience of the 11 of us changed our lives forever and will change our lives constantly as we appreciate the goodness that God has blessed us with, the goodness that we've seen the face of God in these individuals, with that smile that showed us that love. My dear friends, may we always keep that in our hearts and our minds, that you and I are a reflection of God's goodness to one another. And in those simple acts of encounterment, the ministry of presence, you and I can make a difference in our world.